Hey, my friend. I am going to do my best with this. We're going to share my screen. All right. So the first thing I do when I have an address from a seller is I do a couple different things. It's going to be difficult for me to try to remember everything, but I have logged into my Flex MLS. Okay. And I believe you can see the screen. I'm just going to do address search and I'm going to put the address in here. Okay. I just do the street and the street name or the house number and the street name. If it doesn't come up, I might enter more. So nothing came up, which means it's not been listed before, which is totally fine. I just switched to RPR and I'm going to type the address in right here. RPR is going to be similar to like Zillow, hopefully a little bit more accurate. So you'll see this gives me an RVM. I want to look at the details. I'm going to take a note of what the RVM range right here, and I'm going to put it on my sheet that I have. I'm just doing all this on that seller lead questionnaire just for my knowledge. So I'm just doing 310 through 420. Okay. I'm also just going to pop over here, and I'm just curious if Zillow, I don't know why, is going to be any different. Okay, so interesting. Zestimate gives me 311. The RVM is 310 to 420. So obviously Zillow thinks we're on the lower side of things. RVM has us a little bit higher. Let's see who's right, right? Prices are all over the place. So I'm gonna go back over here. So since I can't find that specific house, I am going to do an address search again, and I'm just gonna do 2200 to 2220. Okay, so he's 2216. This is 2215. So the reason I'm doing this is just so I can kind of do the best I can. I'm just getting the address so then I can go to Monsoon or Curve View because Monsoon is going away. I'm just more comfortable in Monsoon right now, so I'm going to go to Monsoon. So this is 2215. I'm looking for 2216, which is across the street. No, 2212. Right there. Okay. So hopefully that this is who you're talking to. Um, is Laura and Daniel McCormack. You want to make sure that since there's both names on there, that whenever you're meeting with them, they're both there. Or the decision maker is there and the other one has, so, okay. So I'm just going to add their names here on my sheet. I'm just going to copy their names. I'm not getting into this just yet. I'm just doing this for my own, probably be a second video. Where did I go? Here. Okay. All right. So since I don't have an MLS listing, that's why I went to Monsoon. But like I said, Monsoon's going away. I'm going to have to get more comfortable with Curve View. It happens every few years. They change tax records on us, and it's a huge pain in the ass, but it's just the way it is. Okay. So I'm just looking at property information. I'm going to look at this lot. I'm going to write that down. I want to have the lot square footage because that's pretty big. So when I do my comps, I want to make sure that that's within 30%. So I put the lot. I see that the house is only 981 square feet, which sucks for them, but that's okay. The year built, 1947. So that's important. We're going to need a lead-based paint. I try to, when I do my comps, I try to stay within 5 years, up or down. Um, all right, we don't have a garage. It looks like we just have a carport. So I'm going to write that. Carport 2, because I want all my comps to be exactly the same if I can. They have a patio. I'll keep that in mind. I don't know what that looks like. And then it looks like there is a pool. Because it's an older home, I haven't been there. You've been there. I get that. But like if you're talking to somebody online, that's why I want to go to satellite view because I want to see like, hey, the last time they took a picture, was this pool like empty? Okay, so it's a crummy. Oh, there we go. Okay. I am curious about what we're backed up to here. That makes me a little nervous. That's always going to be a problem for buyers. They're going to look at that. So Northern Gardens, ooh, it looks like it's an apartment maybe? Is that an apartment complex? Hmm. So I am concerned about that. I'm just gonna maps. I'm just kind of looking in here because I want to see what that is, and I'm in the way again. Okay, maybe a senior community. Hmm. And then that's when I would get Mike and be like, Mike, what is that? Now I'm trying to find my satellite view. There we go. Is that it? No, that's just the front. That's not what I want. Let's see. Oh yeah, so it's an apartment complex. Not ideal. So my question to you would be like, hey, what did it look like when did you go in the backyard? Did you see, people don't love that. Um, maybe it's better than a street. I don't know. Some people won't even look at properties that are backed up to apartment complexes. It just depends. So that's going to be a deterrent for some buyers. And you need to make the seller aware of that. They should have been made aware of that when they bought it, but it sounds like they've been there for a long time. So I'm just going to close out of that. I'm going to go back over here. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can about the property. So that's like the first thing that I, saw, looked at. I've got my year built. I've got the square footage. It does have a pool and it is 450 square feet. Hmm. So it looks like they did buy it just in 2022. Well, they didn't buy it. It was a quit claim to them. There was a death certificate. Hmm. Stevenson to Laura McCormack. I'm just curious. So that's where I'm looking at this. I would definitely want to have a title rep look into this property before I list it because sometimes when these things are done, they're not done properly, and you don't want to be in escrow and have to correct, have title have to correct things that were done. So I wouldn't necessarily say that to them, but I would just say like, hey, I noticed that you acquired this property in 2022, right? Is that the day? No, that's not them. This is them. So I would just say like, hey, I noticed that you acquired this property in 2022. after somebody passed away. You don't have to say all that. But I would just get, hey, I want to connect you with a title rep um, that can make sure that, we'll just start the escrow process before we get a buyer. It makes things easier. So maybe the less you say, the better. But again, I would, I mean, once you have your listing agreement, you're already going to put in there that you're going to wait to list it until the property is ready with photos and the estate sale or whatever else they're doing. So I would definitely, yeah, I would just make sure that because of this switch, um, you want to make sure that it's done right. Like I said, if you're in escrow with a buyer, it could delay closing, and then it could potentially be the seller's fault. And it's just better to make sure title, make sure that it was all done properly. And then this is just kind of, so it looks like there was a reverse mortgage funding, reverse mortgage funding LLC. Just kind of some things here that but it's FHA. Hmm. Like I said, I would just want title to run report. I would just, yeah, I'd want to know what I was looking at before I actually invested. Um, I'm just curious what that's about. And like, it depends on your relationship with them. I would probably ask like, you know, whatever, however I was comfortable. Like, hey, I noticed you got this in March 2022. This is a family member. Did you pay off the reverse mortgage? I don't know. Maybe you don't say anything. Maybe you just have title run it and then deal with it and make them the bad guy if there's something wrong. Okay, probably way too much information, but that's what I look at. I look at the general, have myself an idea of what's going on. Then I want to look at a subdivision right here. Okay, so this is what's in tax records. That does not mean that that is what is in the MLS because people sometimes don't do it properly. So once I have all this information, I'm going to keep this tax record tab. Normally, if I had an old MLS listing, I might use that and this together because I would want to look at old pictures, kind of get an idea what it was before they bought it, but we don't have that. So that's fine. So now I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to do a search. I want to make sure that we're one dash residential, not in land or commercial or rentals or anything like that. Okay. So I am going to highlight active, under contract, CCBS. It has coming soon. I also want pending and closed. Since I have done closed, I'm going to select this because I want that's probably fine. I try to do 90 and then I might let's just see what this comes back. This obviously the market's changing like a lot over the last couple of years. And so I try to get since we don't know what the market's doing, like it could be going up or down and it changes, right? It's been unsteady and weird. So the sooner, like I like to keep my comps as close, like within 90 days if I can, or like something that's 30 days closed. I'm going to look at that a lot better than something that happened 6 months ago, because that's more of what's happening today versus 6 months ago. So, I mean, an appraiser, yes, can use 6 months for value, but that's not necessarily, we're projecting into the future here. So that's why, yeah, but we'll see what we get. We'll see what we have here. So I'm going to just go right to subdivision. Like I said, I'm going to do a map later and take that out. But for now, that's just going to give me a better idea of just the area. Okay. See, it's only giving me two. So not a lot of activity is happening in that subdivision. So actually, before I do anything else, I'm just going to zoom in right here into where this neighborhood is. And I'm going to try to find that actual address. Let's see, where's Augusta? Augusta's up there. And I'm zooming in. Zooming in. I'm gonna find 2216, right? Yep. Okay. So 2216 is right here. I'm just gonna pop my little circle here because I like it. Sometimes I do a polygon. It just all depends. But this is a pretty simple. I'm gonna probably just go a mile or less at first. Oh, come on. Pain in my butt. Okay, since this, I gotta click it. I need to edit my circle because I want it bigger. I want it like a mile. You can go up to 3 miles if it's like a unique property, but obviously the closer, I don't really want to go on the other side of this either. So I'm gonna on the other side of the freeway because that's a totally different market. But you can go up to 3 miles if you need to. So I'm just gonna keep this here, but I'm gonna try not to pick up any listings that are over here unless I have to, because let's be real, like this side of the freeway is totally different than this side of the freeway. Okay. I just know that because I lived here my entire life, and you probably know that too. Like you probably know if you there's a big difference of being south of northern and north of northern too. Like it just depends on the specific area. So I'm just trying to figure this all out for me. And now I'm going to take out the subdivision because I have my little mile circle, but I'm not going to use that whole mile just because I know this area, which is totally fine. But you're going to see it's going to pop up 138 listings, which is way too many. So now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do dwelling type. Oh, I did. I assumed it was a house. Yeah, so single family. Detached is what it is. Actually, it's a multi unit. So is it attached? That doesn't make any sense. So is it like a duplex? I'm trying to figure that out. All right, I'll figure it out in a minute. Okay. I'm gonna leave that blank right now because I want to see what their buddies are like. Okay, so I'm gonna do my year built. So I'm gonna add 5 years, which is gonna be 1952. And I might change this to 1942 because that's 5 years up and down from 47. So that's going to give me 13, but there's a lot on the other side of the freeway. Okay. I only need like 5 or 6, so we'll see what we got here. Okay, I'm going to try to find something on their street, which I don't understand why it says it's a multi-unit right here. Multiple family. Because it's not connected. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure it out. I probably should just call you, but I'm recording this. So, okay. Okay. Um, Obviously it's easier if you know the property. That's why I'm trying to figure out what it is. Okay, I am gonna just do, I know it has carport, so I really kind of want 2 and 2. I'm probably gonna have to go bigger. I know it has a pool. I'm gonna say yes to the pool. And then I wrote that the square footage is 981. So I like to be within 30%. So that is going to be 294 up and down. I might just do 295. So I'm going to do 981 plus 295. So I really don't want my comps to be higher than 1276. And to go down, I'm going to do 981 minus 295. I really don't want them less than 686. So this is a tiny little guy. So you'll see now I got less. So now I want to probably bump up. I think I'm going to do 1940, 1954, because I really want the size has got to be. So I might even just do 10 years on either end. Let's see if that picks up more. It's really not. So I can take out the pool and the carport, but I really do care about the lot too. So I'm gonna take that out. All right. I'm gonna text you real quick. Is this a all right, where was I? Okay, I'm gonna go back here. All right, I thought it would be simpler. This guy. I'm gonna take off carport. Okay, that helped. I'm just looking at my so I know the lot is 12,420. Same thing. I want like 30% up and down. So that's going to be 3726 plus 12,420. I'm going to put 16,146. Thirty-seven 26. So minus 37 26. 86.94. All right. So that gives me three. Let's see what they look like. Zoom in. Detached garage on the side of the house. Oh, okay. How many? Oh, maybe I didn't see. Okay, added attachment is 63 square feet. Okay, so AC, it says 63 square feet. Used as a garage. I'm texting with you right now, sorry. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud again. Okay, so I just want to kind of get it. It's kind of tricky one. Because he's a little guy. You got a big difference here. Yeah. I don't know what, I have no idea what his house looks like. And that's why this is hard because is it as nice as this? I don't know. You know, because you were there. How does it compare to this one that gives us no information whatsoever? He had two cars in it. Okay, cool. So I'm actually going to change that then. Same thing. Like, how did it compare to this? Obviously, that's why I like try to look at old listings so I can kind of get an idea if I haven't seen the house. But I'm kind of flying blind right now, right? Like I have no idea what I'm even looking at. Okay, so I am going to change And again, it's going to be different at every house. So I know he has a pool, which is an asset, but he backs up to that apartment complex, which sucks. I'm not going to use that language as a client, but okay, I'm gonna just add garage and see what comes up. Yeah. And I think I'm going to expand my map because he's so small and has that lot square footage that's big. It's kind of um makes things a little bit more difficult. So I like that he has a garage. We'll be able to pull up other stuff. But I'm just wondering, is it like a metal garage or is it actually drywalled? And I don't know. It could be, I don't know. Maybe it is. Yeah, I can't tell from that roof. And then also, what is this? There's another building here. So is that like a casita? Is that the why they're calling it a multi-unit? There's probably two units on the house. Hmm, weird. And then I assume that's the garage that he built. Yeah, curious. Curious. Okay. So I'm not picking up a lot. And since I really am having a hard time, I really would not, I would want to see it. You have, so that helps. Okay, I'm gonna just go out. Maybe not quite 3 miles. Let's see if I pick up. Okay, I got four. I don't know. I try to keep them close to home. Um, and now I wish I was actually on the phone with you so I could ask you how these compared. And like, what is his fence? Is he a brick fence? Does he have a wooden fence? There you go. We just got one picture there. Okay. I don't know if it's my internet. Okay. So this one is listed at 249. He looks like he's probably crummier than that one. And we got prices all over the place. So, not my favorite. Not my favorite. Let's see. I'm jumping over here to RPR to see who they used. So they used, you can't use this as a comp. It's 3,000 square feet. Like, see what I'm saying? Like that, no appraiser is ever going to use that for this property. 3,000 square feet. Mm, yeah, no, not gonna fly. Maybe this one. Yeah. So I'm gonna write down that address because I want to try to pick it up. Since I'm struggling here, I'm gonna pick them up. West Morton. I like that one. Again, I don't know how it compares, but you do. Maybe this one. It's got really good photos. 1377. Maybe a little too much. This one, maybe. I'm gonna write these down. And then these are all closed. Everything's over 1,400. Oof. Mm. That's good though. You get to see what happens when it's not easy. Yeah. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more because I kind of have to, but I hate doing that because that just changes things, but you kind of have to. Especially what he has. Yeah, I don't know what he has. If they've built another living area in those buildings, and this like this maybe it's just I don't know. So that would be good to know. Okay, I think that's just the area, maybe. It's weird. Detached square foot, bonus room attached. Hmm. 981.63. They've got to have, yeah, I don't know. Be good to know. All right. Anyway, we've got four here. Let's see what they look like. And what else can I change here? I'm trying to pick up other stuff. So I'm probably going to go down because a lot of these lots are not that big. I don't want to go down too much, but I do want to kind of try to pick up other. That give me six. That's okay. Let's see what they are. It's a tough one. It's good. So I might just pick, let's see. Hmm, they're all over the board though. And none of them are the addresses. So I wrote down those addresses from over here at RPR. None of these are those addresses. Like I have 2225 West Morton, not here, and 2026 West Townley, not here. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. All right, so I am not in love with this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this search and I'm going to go over it better with you later and we'll see what we want to do. So I'm just going to hit save search. And this is just how I label them. I label the last name and the address, and I call it a living CMA because it changes. And then I can change, I can play with it later. But that just kind of gives us an idea. Okay, so I'm saving that because now usually I don't start at the CMA. I mean, I wanted to look at the property, so I had an idea, but I'm just going all over the place. So what I want to do here is first, I'm just gonna do this is gonna be like I want a bigger view because I don't really know the specifics of the house to go further and actually select my. So right now I'm just gonna do geographical and price. So I know we're like, okay, I'm gonna zoom into where I know the property is. Right, or south of Northern. So what I'm trying to do here is really just a buyer that's going to be looking for their house, like what's going to be their area. It maybe, maybe not, but I am going to do like a pretty big space. So I think I might, let's see. I don't like to do a circle on this one. I generally do. I know that's where he is. I'm going to say people that are going to be looking, probably maybe they're looking this whole big spot, like in the heart. Okay, so it's a pretty big. And you know what? I think I'm actually, I see grand there. And I know, and this is just, it could be different, but I just know that sometimes people don't want to cross that. So I think I'm gonna change my shape here and just bring him. I don't think they want to cross that. But okay. I think that's probably pretty good. You want a pretty big space. I'm just looking. hmm, Okay, this might tighten this up, or we're just really looking for. okay, this specific area, right? I might bring that down a little bit. It's okay. I might change it. But this is where I'm going to start it for now. Oh, I have a text message from you. An easement. Hmm, for, I'm just talking to you right now as I'm recording this. It's zoned as multifamily. I just got your text. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, so I might change this. I just want to kind of see. I might bring this part down. It really, it's just like, okay, if somebody were looking for that house, where else would they be looking, in my opinion? There's no right or wrong, like, and you'll be able to tighten it in and figure it out. So I'm just trying to stay like within the boundaries of like the freeways generally. And then also like that grand, because I know, people that are going to be like right here, they probably don't want to be over here. Maybe. Okay. So now, okay, so since RVM has me about 310 to 420, let's see, I probably want to be, I'm gonna say 20,000 increments. So I know that the range is somewhere between 300 and maybe 420 if he's like the cream of the crop. Um, so I think I'm gonna do 300 to 325. Maybe we'll do, yeah, we'll do 25 increments. Okay. So I've created this uh, from one of the brokerages that we were at out of theirs. Um, I find it helpful when I'm talking to sellers. So I always need my calculator unless I have Mike with me. So it's going to be 349, 123, 350, 123, I think it's 374.99. Yeah, no, this is perfect. 375, 1, 2, and and then I'll just do 400. I don't know if he's gonna like that though, but based on this, I doubt he's gonna be at 420 because I see this RVM range, but I also see that they're picking up 500 and 434. I mean, maybe not 434, but I don't think he's a nice spot. Maybe he is. I could change it if I knew it was. Um, but I'm just looking at the square footage of some of these, and I just, I'm looking at this range. I think 400 is going to be, especially being backed up to that. And then this guy, he this estimate only has him at 311, so they're probably more accurate than RPR, which is sad. Um, RPR is usually more accurate, but things change around. So look, their range is Zillow's range is 268 to 345. Hmm. Interesting. That's some cool cars. Okay, so see, look, I can see that this garage over here in Zillow, that looks like it's a metal building. Maybe I'm wrong. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be like a buyer specific thing, right? Like, are they going to like it? Maybe. It kind of just cuts out like, some people that are just looking for like a simple. So I don't know. It's cute, I guess. Yeah, I like the greenery, if that's the way it looks. I don't know. Okay, I would be driving by it so I could get my eyes on it and make my own determination, honestly, while I'm doing this. But you saw it, so that would be helpful. Okay, let's go back to here and take you away. Okay, so here I am just trying to figure out. So I'm going to write this down because I have done my ranges from 300 to 400. Okay. You'll see I just did 25,000 increments here. It really depends on the, I might even bump this up, if while I'm doing it, I might go 320 to 420. We'll see. This is just kind of where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure it out. So I have my geographical area, which I might change depending on what I pull up. And I want more than all this. Well, actually, right now, I just want active and pending, which also includes these guys. Okay. Um, I'll do sold later, you'll see. As long as I'm still recording. Okay. So I want to do price. So first I'm gonna just do lot. I'm gonna have to narrow that down. Let's do my 300. What did I do over here? To 324. Oops. Oh yeah, so that's pretty good. I like that. That's a good number. Okay. That's a pretty good number for me to have. Okay. It's picking up a lot of information. The one thing I am gonna, it's just so hard because I don't know usually the dwelling type, I mean, you say it's a single family residence, but I don't think this is. I think it has a multi-unit on it. So I usually try to do like kind. I'm not sure. I know it's not manufactured housing. I know it's not a twin home, but I think there's another property on it. But I know it's not any of those. So I'll keep it here. That also lowers us to 51. So I like that number too. That's good. So we're gonna go with this. Okay, so you're gonna see I have between 300 and 324,999. First, I want to save this in case my computer dies or something crazy happens, so I don't have to recreate this. Okay, I'm gonna do market trend. Okay, I'm saving it. Okay, I just want to make sure nothing goes out. Okay, so I have a total of 51. Okay, and I'm gonna pull you out of here. Thank you. Don't mind my messy desktop. It's out of control. I realize this. Okay. Okay. So now it's just not big enough for me. Okay. My eyes, I'm going blind. So I just am gonna click this one click because I feel like it's gonna be easier for me. Okay. So now I'm looking at active. It's 31. If there were coming soon, I would include those in the active. So I'm just gonna do 31. And then pending, I'm going to do 17 plus the 3. So 17, 18, 19, 20. 20. Okay. So now I need a ratio. So for my ratio, I'm going to do pending plus UCB, CCBS. Okay. Which the pending is the 20 divided by the total, which is 51. So 20 divided by 51. And that is going to give me 39% is the ratio. And you're going to see that says balanced. Okay, so I'm going to put 39%, and it's a balanced market because of that. I don't make that up. That's just what it is. Okay. Um, I can add the overall square footage. It says 1341. So he fits within that. Sometimes they don't, right? Because you notice I didn't pick anything specific. Um, so the active days on market, I'm gonna go over here I'm gonna pick the higher one, 87, right here. If you saw it, it's right here. I usually pick whatever is higher because the numbers are slightly different. Okay, pending. I'm going to go over here to pending 41. And see, that's kind of the issue with UCB, CCBS is the market, the days on market continue to accrue. That's why I try to go pending. The reason agents do UCB or CCBS is because they want to continue to market the property to pick up other buyers. I just don't think that's in the best interest of the seller, so I don't do it. You do whatever you are playing with. And people have different reasons. That's just how I look at it. So I am going to probably split the difference. I mean, this 41 is probably not accurate because these guys, we don't know how long. I mean, there were only three of them. So I might stick with the 41, or I might jump it up. I mean, look, if you look at this 129, that's out of 17 listings that are pending right now. The highest was 129 days, and then the lowest was 1 day, and that is all about pricing strategy. So that's why it's like, this 41 is not completely accurate, especially because of those 109. So it's so tough. I really want to know the real numbers on these, but there's just no way of knowing. So I'm probably gonna say, since this one is 87.75, I don't want to give any unrealistic, yeah. I feel like I'm probably going to say, I'm going to say 61 days. If it's, yeah. So I'm picking 61 because I don't know, I could put 41. Maybe I'll put 41 and yeah. I don't know. I'll put 41 because that's what my numbers say and it's just a pricing thing. Okay. So the average days on market is 73, which is this number right here. Okay. If you look at the overall and then the 73. So I'm going to put that there. Okay. All right. So we're done with one land. Yay. Okay. Now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to change it to 325. Hopefully you can hear me. 325 to 349. Okay. Okay. And then this one is 94. That's a lot more. Total is 94. And I can't see what I'm doing, so I got to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to click that CMA statistical one-page report again. Unless I click something wrong. No, okay, there it is. All right, I'm going to close out of this one because this is my old one. Now I got my new one. I don't want to get confused. Okay, active, I have 54. 54. Okay, and then pending, I got 21 plus 19. Mike's here now, but he's on the phone, so I still can't have him do my math. So I need my calculator. So if I did it right, it's 40 is my pending. And then same thing, I do my pending divided by the total. So I'm going to take 40 divided by 94 to get my ratio. That's 43%. It was actually 0.425555. I'm rounding out 43%, right? Okay. So 43%, what is that? That is a seller's hit. Interesting. So if he were to price between 300 and 324,999, that would be a balanced market. If he prices between 325 to 349,999, provided it's, accurate based on other comps, that's going to be more of a seller's market. Okay. The total days on market, and this one is 66. You'll see right here. And then the active days on market, 81. And then same thing, we always have this issue because of UCB 71.23. I'm going to use UCB 71. I just like that number better. I don't want to give people unrealistic expectations and how long. I mean, this is a lot lower price point, so 41 probably makes sense if it's priced right. Because those tend to go faster. Okay, 1307 is the average square footage. You'll see the low is 767, high 22. So, okay. So now I'm going to close out of this. And now I'm going to change my price again. 350 to 374,999. All right. What do we got here? We got 133. Okay. I'm like overhearing Mike. Okay. 374,999. Okay. So I'm going to do my CMA, statistical buyer, one page report. I'm minimizing it. All right. My active and coming soon. So you see I have three coming soon. So I'm going to do 86, 87, 88, 89 here because the coming soon I'm just including with the active. And then same thing. So pending 22 plus 22 is 44. I can do that math. Okay, and then I take my pending. Same thing, 44 divided by 133, which is the total, and that gives me 33%. So now within that price range, we are back in a balanced market. Okay, overall days on market is 71. And now you'll see the coming soon is 0, so that's going to kind of mess us up here, but I'm going to pick the 78 for the active. And then the UCB and pending are going to throw me off again. I got 64.49. I'm going to pick 64 just because I think that's probably more realistic. Okay. 1442 is the overall square footage. Okay. All right. We're almost done with this part. So now I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to change my price again to 375 to 400. Okay. It's going to give me 206. What? Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I try to keep them under 100. So, but this is good to know. Do you know why? That's telling us a lot right there. You've got a lot more competition within that price range. Are you really supposed to be in that price range? Let's compare, compare, compare. Okay. So once again, I can't see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go up here, press my CMA, click my one-page report. Love my one-page report. Even when I do my CMA, I do my one-page report on those. The it's just the most simple for me. Okay, 122. Okay, yeah, no, that's right. 206. Okay, 122 active. Gee, what kind of market you think this is going to be? We're going to find out. Okay, coming soon. Actually, so 5, 6, 7. I got to add 127. Okay, and then we have got to get my trusty calculator. Okay, pending 47 plus UCB, which is 31, plus CCBS, which is 1. Okay, that's going to be 79. All right, I'm just going to make sure I did my math right. So I'm going to add 79 and 127 to make sure I didn't screw up. And yeah, that's 206. So I did not screw up. All right, 79, which is my pending, divided by total 206. That is 38%. 79. Yeah, pending divided by total. Okay, I'm actually, yeah, we're in the seller's market. My DOM for everybody is going to be right here, 68.72. I'm just going to pick 72. I like it better. Square footage, 1561. Okay, active, 77. Pending, 55. 56, I think that one said. Yeah, okay, I'll do 56. But we also have these, so 79. I think I might just pick, I think I might do 79. Why not? Okay. A lot that's under contract. I'm surprised. Okay. So now for the absorption rate, I'm just going to command copy. I'm putting those same numbers there. Okay. Um, so we're just copy and pasting the price range and then also the total active and pending. It's going to be the same. Okay. So those are the same. So the only difference that I'm doing is I'm doing total now divided by the pending sales. So for this first set, I'm going to do total, which is 51 divided by 20. So it's opposite, okay? Which this is going to give me 2.55. I'm going to times that by 30 because that's 76.5. That's 76.5 days. So this is month of supply, day of supply, okay? What this is showing me, this month of supply, 2.55, and I can take out these 0.5s. That might be confusing. I'm just going to do one because look right here. This is the rate. So these are different. You're going to see this is why this is important because price range, market, balance sellers, right? But now we're going to do absorption rate. Okay. And absorption rate is how long, if nothing new entered the market, how long would it take for everything to go off, right? Um, Based on what we're looking at. So this is 2.5 month supply in this price range. And that says it's a seller's market. So anything between 0 and 4 says sellers for the absorption rate. Okay. And then, so forth, the balanced buyers, right? That it just gives us the numbers. So same thing over here. I'm going to do total divided by pending. Okay. So I'm going to take 94 divided by 40. And that's 2.35. I'm going to just put that because I like it. 2.35 times 30 average days in a month, right? That's going to give me 70.5. I'll just keep it 70 days. Okay. So we keep it simple. Okay. So same thing. 133 is my total. And I'm going to divide that by the pending, which is 44. And that is 3.02. I'll probably just do 3. Keep it simple. Okay. All these are sellers. The only reason we do days of supply because some people don't understand month of supply. So we're just saying like, hey, that's how many days it's going to take. So I'm going to say 91 days because it's 90.68, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The last one over here is we've got 206 and that's the total. And we're dividing that by the pending, which is 79, which is going to give us 2.6. Okay. So 2.6 times 30 is going to give us 78 days. So you'll see all of these are under 4. So it's a seller's market according to the absorption rate right now. That can change, but it's good to know, right? It's good to keep an eye out, okay? Now, this is where my price versus time is my favorite, okay? So, because it just gives us a whole picture. There's more than just comparable properties when we're listing a home. So all of this matters. Um, okay, so now I am going to use the same search, but the only difference is now I'm only looking at what has sold, and I need all of it. So what was it? Three. Let me just move you over. Okay, so I want to change it to 300 to 400, right? The whole shebang. Okay, and I'm only doing closed. So I'm doing the price range is from the lowest figure to the highest figure. Okay. I'm using the same geographical search and my close date range of 180 days. Okay. I still have the same style of dwellings. And then I'm adding a field, days. I do want that, but not yet. Uh, agent days on market that I want. Oh, that's right. Okay, close. This is where I want my 100. I'm just going to click that right there since we took away the active and pending and all the other in betweens. And I'm just doing closed. Okay, so I have that 182 in there that I like. And then I have you'll notice I added the agent days on market. Okay. The reason I'm doing that is because it's going to change. Okay. So first I'm going to do 0 to 30, which is our first bit right here. I wonder if I'm going to run out of time. I hope not. Okay. Okay. It says 347. I wonder if that's, now I'm going to hit stat here and you'll see why. Okay. So I want to know a couple different things. I'm going to write this down because I'm going to have a hard time seeing. Trying to bump you in there. Okay. So I have a total of 347 units right here that sold in that price point. With now, this means they were on the market from 0 to 30 days. They closed the first 30 days. Okay. 347, that's an awful lot. Okay. Um, Now I'm also looking for the original list price to sales price. This is not accurate. This is just what was there. How many units actually reduced? Okay. The average price reduction and the total average price reduction. So we'll get to that. I'm gonna look at this big so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Okay. It looks like the average price reduction was 9,822. Okay. And 63 of them had a price reduction within the first 30 days. Okay. And then I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna scroll. Where is it at? Listing by status. It's not what I want. Days on market. Okay, so right here, number of listings. So this is what I want to use is this average sales price to old listing price. So it's like the first listing price. So they got about 98%. So I'm gonna go with 98%. It's a little bit higher. But we're just trying to make it simple, right? So I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna put 98% right here. Okay. I know it's 347. There were 63 that actually reduced. And then I'm gonna have to figure that out. The price reduction it's this same one down here, but you'll see as we go through, it's because we add all of them because we're trying to show them like, hey, if you price too high, like over time, you're like leaving money on the table. Okay. I'm trying to remember how to do this. I think it's 347 divided by 63 or the other way around. Nope, that's not right. Okay. 63 divided by 347. Yeah, that's right. And that's 18%. So 18% had a price reduction within the first 30 days. That closed within the first 30 days. That was the average price reduction. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to bump this guy back out. I need to edit my search. And now I'm changing this. It was 0 to 30. Now I'm just doing 31 to 60. Okay. 249. 249 closed between 31 and 60 days of being on the market. Okay. I go to my stats. I shrink you so I can see what I'm doing, but that's still not big enough. I'm going to look right here. 84. I'm going to write that down since I'm having a hard time here. And 15,829. I need one more number. I need, where did that say? Okay. So right here, these are, I don't know why these are, oh, that's why. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, so 97. Because see, I'm looking at this number, the old list price. I don't want what they were listed at once they reduced. I want the original. The original list price. So it's still 97, it's 97%. Okay. All right. So this one is, oh, it was already right, 97%. Okay. And it's 84. I gotta change that number. So I think it's 249 divided by 84. Is that right? No, I always do it backwards. 84 divided by 249. So I'm doing the unit, how many reduced, which was 84, divided by how many actually closed. And two is 34%. I'm just rounding and stuff. Okay. So now this one, the average was 15,829. I'm going to add the 98.22. Okay. So that's 25,651. It's real money, people. Don't list too high. That's what you're really trying to get across. Okay. I'm going to edit search again. Only thing I'm changing is now 61 to 90 days. Okay. And that's giving me 120. I can write that, shrink you, go to stats. Go away. And let's see. Here we have the average is 14,151. On top of the other ones, a total of 93 lowered their price. Okay. Within that time period, which was on top of the other one. And right here, I need to make sure I'm in the right. So it's 95. I'll say 96 since it's 95.64. And it's still showing like it's going down. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't, which is weird, but okay. 93 at a price reduction. That's going to be a bigger number, which normally happens. 93 divided by 120 is 78%. 78% reduced their price within that period of time. Okay, 14,151. And we're just going to add that to this 25,651. oops, 25.51 plus 14.151. Okay, which gives me 39,802. All right, now I'm going to go back over here, edit my search. Only thing I'm changing is my days on market. Well, the agent days on market. Okay, 66. Big difference, huh? Okay. And this is why it's so important. I try to tell people like the first 30 days is so critical. If you list too high, like you're just making it harder on yourself. You're going to see usually these numbers drop. Not always, but um, the longer you're on the market, the more likely you're not going to sell. And then you're out money as an agent, right? Unless you're making them pay for everything, which nobody wants to do. Okay. So I'm going to make this big because I can't see what I'm doing. All right. My total, what was my, I think 66. Yeah. Okay. 66 was the total, but I had 59, you'll see right here, that had reduced. And my average is 21,071. Okay. And you're going to see now it's 93.9. So 94%. And yeah, that's all I got. Okay. Bounce over here. 94%. It was 66. I had 59. That's almost 100%. See what it says. I think I went the wrong way again. 59 divided by 66. 89%. I was way off. Good thing for calculators. Okay. Now this one was 21,071, and I'm going to add that to the 39,802. Which is 60,873. So yeah, go ahead and just list high and we'll see what happens. No, 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 let's not do that. You're just killing yourself. Okay. A slow death. Okay. Now I'm got a few more to go. The same freaking thing. 121 to 150. It says 40 total. Did I change this one? Yeah. Well, I didn't, but it was 94. I wrote it down, so I know it's right. Okay. 40 stats. Shrink you out of the way. And make you bigger because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, 35 had a price range. The average was 24,755. You can see right here. And then what are we in? We're in, I forgot what I was doing. I think it's, yeah, 121 to 150. Okay. So it's going to be 93%, 92.99 on this one. Same. So I'll just say 93%. Round up. %. Okay. That's 40, not 49. That must be an old number. Right? Yeah, 40. Okay. And 35 had a price reduction. I'm getting bored and distracted now. So stay with me. 35 divided by 4. Oops. 35 divided by 40. 88%. Should be 100 already, but it's not. Okay. And the average was the 24,755 that I wrote down, which I'm going to add to the 60,873. 24,755 plus 60,873. 85,628 is the total average price reduction up until now. Okay. All right. We're almost done. We got 151 to 180. Only 30. You see a trend. Like I said, it just goes down. What happens to the other ones? They cancel. They end up going off the market. They give up. They sell to an investor that off the market without a realtor. Um, because the realtor just did whatever the seller wanted them to do and nobody sold. So like, let's just be real and honest about what we're going to do here. Okay. Um, the goal is to sell. Is that what you want to do? Okay, great. Anyway, um, obviously a lot kinder than that, but okay. Where am I at? Okay. 30. Yep. Make you big. 24. Right here. 24 of them had a price reduction that averaged 30,475. Oh, I think my earphones are dying. Hopefully you can still hear me. If not, you're gonna have a lot of questions. Okay, and now it's 92%. 92, 24, 24 divided by 30, 80. Wait a minute. Okay, this one is the 30,475 plus 85,628. 116,103. One more. I think my things did die. Hopefully you can still hear me on the laptop. Now we're doing 181 plus. So I'm gonna just do 181. 99999. Let's just say it was listed forever. Okay, 52. So once you're in the market for over 181 days, you're kind of screwed. Not screwed, but I mean, it still does sell, but you can see it just drop significantly. So we're gonna move you out of the way. Stats. Total 52. We got that number. I can't see you, so I'm moving you big. Average reduction 33,707. 47 had a price reduction, leaving us with 89.6. So I'm going to have to say 90. I hate doing that, but it's really rounding out 90%. Okay. So we're going to go over here. 90%, 52, 47. Should be 100%, but something's funky. That's all right. It gets the point across. 52, which I did it backwards again. It's actually 47 divided by 52, which puts me at 90%. Okay, and this one is 33,707 added to 116,103. 149, 810. Okay. So this is what I have right here. I can send you a copy of this and then you can put your own information here. I will do that right now and I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and hopefully you can get it and it makes sense.